And now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
You are fake news.
I am not suicidal.
We'll circle back with you directly. If I can circle back, I'll circle back with you.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 321 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
And I'm Brian.
It was two guys drinking some beer, talking about what's going on. As we were kind of BSing about before we hit the record button, there's been actually a lot of news, but the only thing that's making circulation is what's going on in Minnesota, which is kind of crazy. Tried to, mix it up a little bit, but I don't know, it's a lot of new stuff that people don't even realize is going on. Like the government shut down, Iran shooting, is it basically attacking aircraft carriers, right?
Trying to.
They're mobilizing their navy, which is hilarious. Last time they did this, they lost half their fleet in 8 hours. I don't know, a lot of shit going on, but like for example, Ryan Ralph, he's the dude, the Palm Beach attempted assassin.
He was camping out in the golf course in a tree stand.
Yeah. And like, oh, he was deer hunting. It's like, it's across the street from a fucking airport. There are no deer near the jet engines.
Nope.
And it turns out that the way everything was set up, it wasn't even pointed towards the woods. It was pointed at the golf course.
Right.
But yeah, he's been sentenced to life in prison. I have no idea what that means in terms of federal court. Do you?
No.
I know typically a life sentence is 20 years is considered a standard life sentence.
Isn't he like in his 60s or something like that?
Was he? I thought it was some 20 or 30 something.
59.
59.
So 29. 20 years we put him at 79. I would say
he wasn't quite a boomer, but wanted to be a boomer so bad.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Excuse me. And speaking of,
apparently it's more than 20. Ralph's attorney suggested a 27-year sentence.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's a span of something like 20 to 30 or 20 to 35 years or something like that. But like a standard life sentence, like you get 3 life sentences, it's usually 60 years,
Right.
But each jurisdiction is different, and honestly, I haven't even looked at West Virginia law concerning a life sentence, and it's been a long time since I've looked up federal sentencing because realistically, it hasn't applied to me a whole lot.
Right. Yeah.
I know what federal laws are for the most part, and anything I'm going, is that legal? I go and find out first. Like, for example, I want to make some thermite in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I already melt down and pour aluminum cans into bars for like pure aluminum. And I got an old rusted out barrel that used to be a fire barrel, burn barrel. And I could take the rust, mix it with the aluminum in a powder form, and it'll burn hot enough to melt through an inch of steel with like a teaspoon. So I looked it up and it's like, yeah, if you don't have a license and you get caught making this shit in your house, you're going away. I was like, and that is when I looked up the penalty. Is it a fine, maybe a warning? No, you go into prison. And again, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
No.
So I can't just say I was curious. I thought I could do this. And then start a freaking fire that burns down the handful of houses in this cluster and maybe a patch of the forest,
That'd be bad.
Yeah. People have been dumping silver.
Well, that's probably making the price drop.
That is slowing down the rise, at least. Don't know if it's actually dropped from its peak yet. But this is at least this is an all-time peak. Like, what I mean? It's not like, peak silver in, last 5 years. This is more than it's ever been worth, ever. in terms of dollar bills. It'll still buy you the same number of loaves of bread.
Right.
But with this giant silver sell-off, um, Bitcoin has dropped down to what, $79,000 a coin.
Yeah, it's taking a big hit right now.
We saw this coming. We saw the spike, and we know what happens at a spike. And it was funny listening to Glob. It's like, I won't touch it because, you know, it's gonna fall. And I'm certain if he shows up here tonight, he's gonna bring this up. Uh, I've traded Bitcoin, but I haven't bought any in a long time because I thought it was gonna. Last time it was spiked, I thought it was gonna spike somewhere around 80,000 anyway.
Right.
So I stopped buying at $80,000. And I wasn't buying entire Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't dropping like
No,
$160,000 at a time
right.
buying two
Nobody buys
Bitcoin.
a whole Bitcoin.
No, I was buying little pieces like $50 here, $50 there. You shared this one. They're doing renovations at the new Trump Kennedy Center or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, they're shutting it down for 2 years to do the renovations.
All
And the
right.
Kennedy family's not happy that he's going to shut it down for 2 years. So basically, it's going to be shut down the whole time he's in office.
That's exactly what I thought. And why are the Kennedys upset about renovations? What, they're thinking that he's gonna like remodel it, or is he just gonna like do upgrade and maintenance?
I'm sure he's going to do some remodeling too. Trump's a guy. That's what he does.
True, which makes me laugh so hard about the West Wing. Still hearing people lose their shit about the taxpayer paying for it. It looks like the Clintons have changed their mind about testifying to Congress.
Yeah, they don't want a subpoena. They don't want a contempt of court subpoena.
Does this possibly have anything to do with the giant document dump that just happened too? Like whatever they might have been trying to keep quiet is in there, or I don't know.
Maybe, but I kind of doubt it.
All right. Is that what they really just thought they could say no to Congress and nothing would happen?
Yeah, and it would have. It was a Democrat Congress.
They wouldn't even have subpoenaed them then.
No.
Uh shit, you see this? They fucking feds. I don't even know what organization it is. FBI apparently busted a bio lab in a Vegas County like home.
Uh,
HIV and I think hepatitis.
wow.
Oh no, I'm sorry, HIV and malaria, or at least two of the diseases that they had in like tubes and vials, et cetera, et cetera. And it
Huh.
turns out the man who owns that home also owned a building in California that was recently busted for doing the same
Wow.
why are you fucking around with these diseases if you don't have licenses to do it? Like, I can only imagine bad
That's gonna
intentions
end.
behind that.
That's gonna end badly.
Yeah. Geez, for the most part, this Wuhan lab leak theory is pretty much accepted at this point, right? Like, it accidentally got out.
Yeah.
And that's like the tightest security on the planet.
Yep.
but this jackass can do it in his fucking basement. Oh, we got the repeat offender showing up. I don't know if you want to talk about either one of these next two, these red ones. I almost brought up the first one last week when it happened, and I didn't think it mattered enough. But apparently, it has become popular since then. When this judge freaking handcuffed the defense attorney to the jurors bar, the defendant's what
Huh.
do you call it?
What do you handcuff
The
him
witness
for?
stand, huh?
What do you handcuff him for?
She, or I believe it's a woman, told the defense attorney, that they could not quote coach their client. And I was like, correct. But this wasn't a coaching your client situation. This was advice from your lawyer situation.
Right.
And to stop this conversation from happening, which is completely legal. The entire point of having an attorney, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Handcuffed to the attorney on the other side of the courtroom. Apparently, this judge turned herself in, and they call her a gay judge. She was one of these judges that made a big deal about a rainbow flag in her courtroom a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what the rules are. If it's a federal courtroom, I suppose it's federal rules. States probably have different rules concerning what
Yeah,
flags you can have in a courtroom.
right. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, the locals can make the decisions. That's fine with me. But you can't deny someone counsel because they
No,
come across as a homophobe.
that's what, lawyers are for. That's why people pay for lawyers. There's public defenders.
True, but didn't they put fucking one of Trump's lawyers in prison?
Well, they took away Rudy Giuliani's law license.
Revoking a license is different than your right to representation, though. Your right to counsel.
I think they gave him the option. They were going to put him bail. One of Trump's solicitors, the lawyers, and that.
Well, one of his lawyers jumped ship and like confessed to what RICO charges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the one that tried to flip on Trump that got him in trouble in the first place, he's like, "Well, he never told me to do it. I just did it anyway because I thought he'd want me to."
Was that
oh,
Michael
that was
Cohen?
Stormy
Michael
Daniels.
Cohen, he actually went to jail, didn't he?
Yeah, for Stormy
Yeah,
Daniels.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. That was a different situation. I'm sorry, but I swear one of Trump's attorneys went to jail. Just
no,
the Navarro went to jail. Bannon went to jail.
yeah, because they refused to testify in Congress.
Yeah, thank you, because we were just talking about how the Clintons are now willing to testify in front of Congress right before you came on.
Like
Yep.
the pen was pushed to them. Either you up or you go. That's what they were talking.
Oh, and ducking out on speaking in front of Congress is way worse than skipping your court date. You know?
There's a slight difference, but you go to federal prison, don't you?
Well, not only that, like you cannot skip a federal appointment. They'll just come and arrest you. They're not going to send you a summons for another court appearance. They see it as you wasting taxpayer dollars versus the state who says, "Who cares? It's not our money."
Right. And what about this detransitioner that won $2 million in a medical malpractice lawsuit?
Yeah, 22-year-old female was underwent a double mastectomy at 15 years old. And it's funny because I shared this and then you shared a different article today, I think. But sued the surgeon who performed the surgery on a minor, had no authority to consent for like bodily mutilation, et cetera, malpractice. And the psychologist that made her think this was a good idea won $2 million total. This
This
opens
is
a
just
door.
this is just the beginning of these lawsuits.
We're going to see so many more because they've been pushing this for a while. How many private practices that perform these procedures are going to go out of business because of this?
A lot.
So they should. I don't, and
Eh,
they should pass a bill that none of them get any indemnity from it. Anyone who participates in this should have
your
no
name's right there in
indemnity
public
whatsoever.
record. Well, if there's a, should there be federal charges brought up? Because I believe a law, didn't something get slipped through about transing kids? Well,
They're
that
minors.
wouldn't make it because of ex post facto rulings, but typically
They're
speaking, civil
minors.
suits
Yeah.
are typically speaking civil suits. There's anonymity. You know, you don't
Yeah.
your name isn't necessarily put out there.
And the Democrats are all excited about this Texas state Senate seat that they flipped to Democrat control.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, but a lot of Dems have been fleeing to Texas to get away from Democrat strongholds.
Right.
And the problem is
Yep.
they show up and then vote the same way they were voting before.
That was in Houston, was it? Austin or Houston?
Oh, I didn't realize it was a major district. I thought it was a small, not small because they're all the same size, but
It was only a small area. Yeah, but it wasn't.
if it's a small area, it probably is a major city like Houston or Dallas.
That's where
Yeah, that means more
people.
people. If that means more people. And we'll see what's going on. Texas set up a fucking firestorm with their redistricting stuff. But and plus we'll have to see what happens with that when it comes to who gets to vote in general.
Yeah, it doesn't really in California, that mate. Like they were already gerrymandered to the maximum there.
Massachusetts, the people that literally invented gerrymandering vote 40% Republican, have 0 Republican representatives.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's completely fair. It's like, dude, you clearly are doing everything you can to shut up the 40%. Wait, that's almost half, you know?
Right.
Rhode Island same too, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't Rhode Island same as well too?
Rhode Island is a very, very small state with few people, and that might just happen naturally, honestly. Rhode Island
Yeah,
is
fair enough.
not much bigger landmass wise than Hawaii is combined. But Maine, I believe, is all Democrat represented, but there's tons of people that live out in the woods like, no, I need my rifle, my shotgun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
The people that live in was it Augustus, Maine? Augusta, Maine, that's the capital. Don't deal with bears like the people living out in Q1W4, an unmapped area of Maine.
And what do you think about Savannah Gunthery's mother missing?
I don't know what to think. It's unfortunate if this poor old woman was kidnapped because of her daughter. But there's already been one arrest made for a false ransom, right?
Uh,
For anyone who doesn't know, Savannah Guthrie, she's a journalist. I don't even know from where, but I know the name.
Good Morning America.
Good Morning America.
Yeah.
There you go. I have this nagging feeling that the fact that an actual ransom demand hasn't shown up yet,
Not good.
that this
This is not going to end well.
either it's not going to end well, or this is some fucking publicity stunt.
I hope it's a
And-
publicity stunt.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
going to be a damn mess too.
Not as bad
think
as
it's
if
gone
she's been
through.
murdered.
Yeah, I think Oliver and Brian, I think it's gone past being a publicity stunt.
I don't know, man. These people are getting crazier and crazier. They're getting shot in the fucking face trying to get fucking TikTok famous these days. You know what I mean? I know it'll get me more followers on TikTok. I'll go friggin' charge up and attack an ICE agent when I have a gun exposed. So that, you know what I mean? It's like you're asking to get shot in the face.
Well, TikTok's the way to go. We haven't set up our TikTok account yet.
I won't touch TikTok.
I
But
tell
it's
you what,
owned
you got
by
to give that
Americans
ICE
now.
that
What?
ICE agent great thing of his under pressure.
I didn't get all that, but heard
I
something
said
about
you
an
got to
ICE
give
agent.
that ICE, mate. Great grouping of bullets under pressure.
It's very true with one hand of that because he was filming it with his other hand. Oh. Yeah, we didn't bring it up last week, but while we get our nights before we get back to it later, once it's been primed and thrown, do not pick up flashbang grenades. I don't know what to tell you. That's kind of your own damn fault at that point. You know what I mean?
And when you're in the street, it's not a war, so I don't think there's that many medics around.
But no, the problem is these guys are organized. They do have medic teams with them. I mean, look at how many nurses have already come out saying fucking drug and kill these people.
Yeah,
They do have a medic team out there. And that's the
That's a
problem. Is I
different
keep hearing
circumstance.
I keep hearing these right wingers like, oh, should have come to Civil War. We fucked them up. They don't know how to fight. They ain't got guns. I'm like, motherfucker, they're running license plates. They got medic crews out there. They're organizing these events. You have a stockpile of guns in your basement. What are you going to do when 20 of them fucking surround your house and chuck Molotov cocktails all at once? You're fucked because you're not
Yep.
hooked up with your buddies to call them up to come and help you.
Yeah, but where are the police? How can the police not get rid of these blockades?
Well, we'll definitely get to that. That's part of the larger conversation. It's definitely in this conversation when we get to it. But anyway, speaking of TikTok, this Nido stuff. I had no idea what it was until
Never heard of it.
until he shared it to me. It's like this dough ice cube. And then I realized that my wife had got my children something for Christmas.
Oh,
And
interesting.
you like put them in the freezer and you have ice cubes, but it's like it lasts longer or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And they're fun to squeeze, etc. My kids, within a couple hours, had chewed through them and torn holes in them and squeezed it all. We had to throw them out. Turns out
Probably a good thing.
Yes, turns out some TikTok trend has kids putting these things in the microwave and they're exploding molten goo on them. Yeah.
Oh, it only gets
Yeah, I
better,
know.
doesn't it?
It's some Stormy Daniels shit right there, isn't it?
It only gets better, doesn't it, TikTok?
But yeah, this 9-year-old's got like nasty burns from microwaving this shit. Whatever. Just parents, teach your kids not to be fucking stupid.
Good luck
All
with
right.
that.
I know. But just because all your friends are jumping off a bridge doesn't mean you have to jump off the bridge too. Okay? This is one of my father beat it into my head. He goes, yeah, no, you can go along and have fun. He goes, but when you realize they're all jumping off a fucking bridge, it's like, you can say no thanks. I was like, oh, all right, that's good to know. Oh, shit, I just closed there we go. Oh, yeah, okay, so snowed again today. I got probably 3 feet in my front yard. The thing is, it snows and then it gets really cold and it turns into this ice that crushes down and then it snows again on top of it. It's getting ridiculous. The daughter's been to school once in 2 weeks. We've
Are they
used
doing
up
online learning?
no, and we had these packets that we had to do as like homeschool stuff,
Okay.
but we've run out of snow days already. And then I found out, okay, the wife usually drops the kid off or brings the kid to the school bus stop, which is across the street, and waits for the bus. And then I
Right.
pick her up from this bus stop. I noticed the other day that they have fucking chains on the tires of the school buses that go up the mountain.
They have to, I would think.
I was like, maybe I'm allowed to have chains. I don't know. Keep thinking about looking it up, but I got a feeling it's just county vehicles, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I got like another foot. It's just it's nasty out there. We had exploding trees that everyone
Oh,
heard about.
I didn't think those were real.
Well, I'd always thought it was like, okay, the pine sap freezes quickly because the temperature suddenly drops. And okay, some bark will pop off, maybe some hunks of wood. That's usually what we saw in videos. I had tree limbs snapping off that weighed 400 pounds. Okay, not 400 pounds, maybe 200 pounds. It was nuts. They would just, you'd hear this pop when the sap had been expanding so quickly that the wood just, and it cuts off like a fucking saw cut. You don't get that jagged edge of like a break. You get like a saw cut. It's crazy.
Huh.
Tons of it. And it's funny because my truck was encased in ice and a big hunk of tree that weighed probably 40 pounds landed right on the tailgate, right on the bed. A couple of them actually. And the ice actually protected my truck. But yeah, when it thaws out a little bit, I'll take some pictures of all the shit that fell, dude. Like entire trees fell in my yard in this ridiculous cold.
Okay.
Well, went from what just above freezing to what, like here at least it was something like 3 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit for a week.
Right. Good thing you're stocked up on food.
Yeah, but like just for our foreign friends, 3 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit is something like -19.
Right.
Like that's cold, you know.
Should we do a mother-in-law update?
She has been able to get her truck to move since this whole cold snap started.
Well, you knew that was going to be the case. You told her
I
that.
know, and we brought it up over and over again, but she's like, I got a turkey. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm driving my ass.
Did she cook the turkey?
No, because I'm driving my ass out to fucking Walmart.
In
Hour
that
and a half
weather,
trip
it's
to-
probably like a 3-hour drive.
well, luckily, once you get down into the actual like
Yeah, I
main
know what you're talking
roads,
about.
it's a lot
There's
cleaner.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've driven it. I've experienced it. I know
yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
And we got the little grocery store down in town, but you're not gonna get all the stuff. And she's
No,
like, see,
and
it's
it's a
not
lot
that
more
big a deal.
expensive there too.
Well, she's like, see, it's not that big a deal. I was like, yes. And what happens if my truck breaks down or if I'm out of town to go skiing for a week? It's like, what are you gonna do? And I think she's starting to get it, but she still doesn't quite get that she has a wood stove to heat her house and she's using the electric heater. She hasn't been hit with a bill yet.
Oh, that's gonna
Sa-
be ugly.
Same thing that happened to us is going to happen to her, and we explained it to her that it takes the power company like a quarter to adjust to someone moving into a house.
Uh,
So she's going to get hit with like a 4-month, 5-month bill of heating her house on electric instead of fire. Well, I'm not paying the utilities. I refuse to. I actually brought that up when this whole it's too much work to start a fire, and I was like, she doesn't understand. You don't have to start a new one every day.
no, once you got it going, if you keep it going, you're good.
Just add wood and dirt every now and then. Take the ash out the bottom. It's even got a drawer that you open and pull out pull like a little shelf thing full of the ash that falls out the bottom. You know what I mean? It's not even like you have to go in there and scoop it out while it's 1,200 degrees, 3,000 degrees. But I'm just my biggest concern is she's gonna get hit with a bill that she can't pay at all on a pension and Social Security.
Totally understand it because I just had to refill my dad's propane tank.
Oh, we did too.
Six
Did I tell?
hundred and nine dollars for a propane refill.
That's actually close to what we paid, honestly. 500
Yeah,
gallon tank then.
probably. Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, about the same size as the one we have then. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed it. It's funny because we got down to 30%. I don't know if I
Well, that's
mentioned
what
to
my
you.
dad told me to call for a refill, and now he can't tell me about it, but my nephew happened to see it and he's like, "You're at 30%." Like, okay, so let me call and order it now.
Well, see,
And
that's
then
the
when
thing.
they
Is
by the time they got there, it was at 25%. So
that's the thing is normally I would have refilled at 30% anyway.
mhm.
Uh Thing is, it got so cold that when the pressure came off of the propane, it was supposed to turn into a gas more easily, but it
Right,
was
it
so
didn't.
cold that the propane stayed a liquid in the tank and wouldn't turn into a gas.
Mm.
So like we could turn the lights on, but when the heat kicked on, it was drawing too much for the generator to keep up
But you
with.
got the generator fixed now, right?
It turns out it wasn't even an issue with the generator. It was not enough propane because it
Ah,
didn't have
okay.
the pressure to feed it.
Okay.
Still
So
at
if the
30% in the
propane tank
tank.
would have been fuller, you wouldn't have had an issue.
And I didn't realize we had gone through that much of it because we were at 50%. Well, I say that we were a week without power before the heat became an issue. So we might have gone through 20% of the tank.
Okay.
But for now on, no matter what in fall, we're filling the tank up, topping it off
Yeah.
every year, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. I figured my dad probably he doesn't use it for heat, he just uses it for cooking. Well, he has a backup propane furnace, but the primary heat is wood still. So he's
Yeah.
got two thermostats. One is set lower for propane. So if the wood stove goes out, the propane furnace kicks on. So
Well, see, that's what I was trying to tell the mother-in-law is like run the wood stove, but keep the electric heat at like 62.
yeah,
So should the fire go out, it doesn't get then the heat electric will kick on, but she doesn't
yeah.
on
He
she
doesn't get
doesn't
it.
she's like, oh, if there's a fire, it won't turn on. I was like, yes, but then the fire goes out and it will,
Yes.
you know?
And you won't freeze to death when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah. But yeah, we got our propane tanks hooked up to a whole house generator.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll go through a lot faster if the generator kicks on.
Well, we go through and shut everything off, and we make it a point to not run like the microwave and the washing machine at the same time.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's been cold, it's been nasty. But Governor Morrissey just appointed this dude. He was a U.S. Marshal, uh, stationed in some section of West Virginia, And then he's been serving as interim attorney general or I'm sorry, Homeland Security head, whatever. He's now the head of West Virginia Homeland Security. I had no idea that the states had their own Homeland Security, but
I didn't either. That's news to me.
makes perfect sense. I mean, they're supposed to be independent, sovereign states that share a common defense. The Civil War did kind of fuck that up. I don't know if you realize, but before the Civil War, it was the United States are, and now it's the United States is.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
We were supposed to be independent states that only came together for like common defense, and now me selling a knife in West Virginia is helping paying for some freaking fake daycare system in Minnesota, you know? And check this out. There's been a massive surge of women joining the delegates in terms of the what do they call it? The nominees, the primaries.
Democrat women.
They're all yes, and they're all Democrats. And this is an issue I've noticed in general, but I'll bring up West Virginia as an example because I live here. Charlestown, the capital, is insanely conservative, believe it or not. Like they have Latin mass
Uh-huh.
in Charlestown, West Virginia, but none of those people vote.
Huh.
And it's run by a bunch of Democrats who
That's
hate
good.
the Christians, hate the Catholics.
That's not the case in Virginia.
That's exactly what.
All the liberals in the big cities vote.
No, the Catholics in Latin Mass are not liberal. They're the ones not voting.
Oh,
The liberals are voting. That's why you got so many Democrat and liberal people running Charlestown, West Virginia, instead of the actual population, because mostly it's devout Catholics in that area, and they don't want to get involved in politics. Problem is, ignoring what's happening doesn't mean it's going to not affect you, you know?
right.
But we'll see what happens. The Democrat Party, they can run whoever they want. Chances are they're still going to lose at this point unless they can come up with a really great argument. Because almost everything has been better in West Virginia lately. I mean, they're bringing up a study. They brought up that study about how it's the only state that's not doing better since 1976.
Yeah, we talked about this on another show.
Yeah, yeah. But since Morrissey has taken office, there has been a turn, a bend in the chart. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see what Morrissey can do. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I've been happy so far. I did get a good laugh when Kennedy there, RFK Jr. said something like, maybe you should lose some weight and join the Make America Healthy Again movement too. What's going on to the east of us, dude?
Um, well, they Norfolk schools have been talking about consolidating their elementary schools because they don't have as many kids as they used to, or teachers. And
Well, you
apparently
keep
they
telling people to
unveiled
abort their
phase
babies.
one.
Tell
Maybe,
people to abort the
probably.
babies, there'll be fewer kids in school, right?
Yeah. So I don't know much about this. I think Ray shared this. I'm not in Norfolk, so I don't really care about their school system. And then there was a child rescued from a frozen retention pond in Norfolk. Probably somebody stupid saw ice and tried to walk out on it. I mean, there has been a lot of ice because it's been so cold here, but it ain't thick enough to go walking on. So it can be deceiving. Coming from a actual winter state where they do ice fishing, you gotta wait for that ice to freeze quite a bit before you actually venture out on it to go fishing. And then we got a proposed bill that would prevent serious criminals from compassionate release.
Yeah. Um, I kind of like this, but it's going to get shut down. It's the Republicans putting this up.
Oh, of course it is, because the Democrats are pushing through all their shit right now because they've got control of both houses and the House and the Senate and the governorship. So we're gonna have all
Well,
kinds of funky laws going the next couple of years.
Tim Walz's new laws just allowed an axe murderer who killed his mother, father, brother, and sister with an axe out of prison because he's been in jail for 40 years. That's enough time. It's like, well, then why did you sentence him to 80?
Yeah.
Like this is your fault at this point.
Yep.
But I just want to say something with the school system you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
They're condensing it. There's not enough kids. Problem is, have you noticed the budget keeps going up?
Yeah, because they're paying the executives, the superintendent, and they're not paying teachers more. They're just
They're
paying
hiring more people in general.
they're paying the executives more.
Yeah, they're paying the higher ups, the political characters more, correct. But they're also hiring more people in general to, just like in the Navy, dude. If you don't spend your budget, you don't get that budget next year, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
So they go and hire teachers' aides for a classroom that has fucking 4 kids. And it's like, that was unnecessary. If you can't handle 4 kids in a classroom, then maybe we need to completely rethink this education system.
Yep.
I just wanted to point that out because this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, how millennials just didn't reproduce, and the ones that did late. There's a
Right.
lot of abortion, all of this stuff. There's no kids coming up. And the ones that are coming up are typically raised Republican because they like to have babies. But we keep increasing the budget for schools. What the fuck? And how come no one cares? And why no one cares? It's because half these people that quote don't care have jobs like that.
Right.
They're getting paid for a job that's completely worthless, and they think they're better than you. Because they don't have blisters and they've never cut their hand open at work. You know what I mean? Sorry, I considered it a desk
And
desk
that's
thing. I just lose my
the
mind.
the tradespeople are the ones we've got a problem with and we don't have enough of. So
Yeah. It was something like 10 years ago. We were on this show. You and I talked about how your average auto mechanic was like 56 years old. It's like there's a ton of money to be made. Everybody's going to be retiring. Get into the industry now, right? But now you go to the mechanic and they're charging you twice as much because there's just no one to do the work.
yep.
Yeah, we've got the same problem here with trades and that.
Nobody
government's
wants to
letting too
work with
much
their hands
immigration.
anymore.
The government's letting in much immigration, mate. We haven't got the infrastructure to house these people, let alone Australians. We're just the trades. The trades aren't there.
Who are you trying to house?
Well, we've got an immigration system where our Labor government, will be like your Democrats, allowing all the people in. We've had a surplus.
That should create a ton of jobs in terms of building housing. Then
It's not.
You just
mate.
need someone to pay for it.
It's not. We aren't getting the tradies in. You've only got some tradies and Australians to get houses.
Oh, you need tradesmen.
Yeah,
I get you. You need people that know how to build houses and can. The problem is,
haven't got enough.
the problem is you don't need to know how to build a house. You need to know how to build the wood frame. And not even that, you need to know how to operate the tools and let the man who knows what he's doing tell you what to do. The problem is nobody wants to fucking work with their hands. It seems below them. And now your average tradesman's bringing in over 100K a year. Meanwhile, your college graduate who studied lesbian dance theory is working at fucking Starbucks saying the world's not fair.
Right.
Yep. That's right. And it comes down to the immigration policies of a nation too. Like we're just not getting the right people in. We should be importing tradies in instead of important people coming in, sitting in their asses in offices and that.
Or even the person who might solve cancer or be part of the team that solves cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just like we had how many people here on the H-1B visas working at like 7-Eleven. So why are we importing people to work at a fucking convenience store?
Yeah, we got the same problem
Yeah.
too. They've imported a lot. Look, I'm not being anti-discriminating against anyone, but we've imported a lot of Muslims that come to this country who don't share our values, and a lot of them are dole on the
Well,
unemployment,
your
get money
average
for having
Muslim,
kids.
I'm just gonna say your average Muslim does share most of your values. Your
No, mate,
average,
not the,
I'm saying your average.
yeah,
For the
not mine.
most part, they see most of the stuff the same. But you
Yeah.
do get your zealots. That's for sure. And they obviously see the world a little different, or else they wouldn't worship a different God, right?
Well, they're the ones who having all these kids, 7 and 8 kids, getting paid for each kid from the government. They
Yep.
don't have to work,
And they're gonna be voting in 18 years.
and they don't have to work. They're
And
getting all this
actually,
money
here's the
from the
best
government.
part. Here's the best part, Brian, is all these Muslim kids being born in a Christian Australia not only can vote in 18 years, they must vote in 18 years.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and of course he's frozen as I bring this up, but I am certain Australia has a law that you have to vote. Like they'll come and get you if you don't.
Huh.
Yeah, no, we have to vote. What
I
happens is
don't
you get
agree with
fined.
that.
If you don't pay your fine, then you get your driver's license disqualified.
Now, can
Then
you
if
just
you
fill the
don't pay out
paperwork
that,
saying I don't want to participate? Like, can you fill it out and say I vote for nobody, like, and not make a choice?
you can, but that goes to the. It's called a donkey. That vote goes to the government in Hoover in. You could draw a dick pic on example on your
Okay,
election
so
paper,
you still cast a vote, even if you didn't vote for an
and
actual candidate out there. So if you weren't paying
and
attention
that
and you thought you were responsible, you just vote for like Mickey Mouse.
yeah, if you write Mickey Mouse, it's called a donkey vote. That vote will go to the government in at the time.
Okay, because I mean, I voted for Donald Duck more than once.
Chuck Norris.
I voted for Chuck Norris before too. Actually, yeah. I voted for Chuck Norris for president the first time I could vote.
Well, if you do that here, if, just say for example, the Labor Party was in government, they would get your vote for you writing Donald Duck on it.
I'll tell you what. How about all you guys write in my name? Let's see how many votes I can get in Australia. Maybe I could. Am I allowed to be prime minister of Australia?
No.
Well, you need a cabinet. You need backbench. You
Prime
need a Senate.
Minister comes from the party itself. They don't get voted
Yeah.
in.
Okay, so I am hereby creating a party,
Oh boy.
the Jeffrey and Brian
No.
party,
Yeah, you could do that. You'd have to get it registered.
and I could
You'd
get
have to have
votes
so
by
many
simply doing that.
You'd have to have so many members.
What?
You'd
That
have
seems
to get
crazy to me.
You'd have to get into the Australian Electoral Commission before. I think it's a year and a half before election.
So a write-in vote is worthless to you then?
Yeah.
No, a write-in vote to us goes to the government at the time. Whoever's in government gets that vote.
So okay, so I vote for someone who's not on the ticket. The guy in office gets that vote.
The party.
That seems fucking ridiculous too. It's like I can't say I don't know enough about this. I'm not going to cast a vote. You're forcing what teenagers, I'm assuming, to make a decision when they have no idea how. Oh my God.
And they call it democracy. They call it democracy.
No wonder why you guys have your system's more fucked up than ours, dude. Like I thought we had a jacked up system, but at least it seems to freaking operate.
It's called democracy, mate.
No, it's not democracy, man.
That's what
That's
they
the
call
problem.
it.
Is everyone says democracy. They have no idea what democracy means.
Yeah. I'm only going on what they're saying, mate. I don't think that way. I think the same way as you.
No, but democracy is an actual type of government. And I don't think there's a single actual democratic nation on this planet. You can call yourself that, but I got a feeling the friggin' the Iranian Republican Army is actually fucking Republican. You know what I mean?
Well, mate, I think we've actually got a fascist government here in Australia going under the title mandated. They keep on using the word mandated. We've been mandated to do this. We've been mandated to do that.
Wow, that's just crazy to me. Could you imagine a law, Brian? I only know of one city in the United States that said it is mandatory to own a gun.
No. I mean, no. I mean,
Kennesaw,
yeah, in the US, there are places like that, but
well, I know Kennesaw, Georgia does because they don't have enough police force to control everything and it has the lowest crime rate in the country.
I'll throw something at
every
you
head of
guys.
household must own a gun.
I'll throw something at you hypothetically. Imagine if you hypothetically had two terrorists come and shoot up a group of people on a beach. Then the government, your government, turns around all of a sudden, instead of tightening the laws and who they let into a country and the people got here, they turn around and they make laws to silence people who speak up about it. Then they make laws to get rid of guns in the hands of decent gunners.
See, that's the thing is if it's cliche, but if you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns.
Well, that's what
Like if this
happened
guy
after
was
the
willing, if this dude is willing to show up here and kill a bunch of people, you think he gives a shit about the extra penalty for having a gun to do it? Like he didn't
Why
expect to
did
get
he
out
buy
of here
the first?
alive.
Why did he buy a gun in the first place? He was on a mission.
You know, where are you gonna get a gun? Motherfucker, I can 3D print a gun. I can
Yeah, I know.
machine a gun in my garage. And you know what? Fuck you. I have enough skills because I learned how to do shit that I can make a fucking cannon. What are you gonna do with your fucking cruiser and your riot shield against my fucking 50 caliber Civil War cannon? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It'll
mate,
put
that
a
was the
it'll
same.
put a hole in you the size of a fucking baseball and the 6 people behind you, and then go through the tree behind them and get lodged in some dude's fucking front door. You know?
Have you ever seen the movie In the Line of Fire with Eastwood? Where he
Oh,
made
a
that
very
gun?
long time ago.
He made that gun. Made that gun out of bloody wood or whatever. That's how he got it through
Yeah.
through the security.
Yeah, yeah. The problem is the bullets are lead that would set it off, but you know, and fire a wood bullet, you just get splinters. But either way. Anyway. What was it? The Grammys just happened?
Golden
Is that what
Globes.
is that the music? What?
Golden Globes.
It was Golden Globes. Okay, I don't know what the difference between any of these are, and
Yeah, the
apparently
Grammy.
viewership is down like 30% anyway because no one gives a shit about what these people have to say. And Ricky Gervais said it was last year. It's like, don't come up here and make some political statement about your ideology. It's like nobody cares. You guys live out there in Hollywood in your $3 million houses, have no idea what it is like for your, average citizen.
Well, Trevor
So
Noah was the host, so
this time, yes.
he's been the
And
host for a while now.
Oh, I could have sworn it was Ricky Gervais last year. Maybe it was a couple years ago, but
Yeah, it's a few
Billie
years ago,
Eilish
mate.
ran her mouth about there's no illegal people on stolen land.
Yeah. Well, the tribe that had their
Tongva.
land stolen in California said you're on our land.
That's not quite what happened. They more or less said, keep our names out your mouth, or if you're gonna bring this shit up, at least find out who we are and speak to us first. You know, it was a very polite keep our names out your mouth. But I think it was some Aussie dude. I'm not sure. He might have been UK. Honestly, it's tough to tell their accents apart sometimes, depending on what words they're saying. As an American, not as an Australian, okay? But from like GB News, went to Billie Eilish's house, and it's oh look, a giant wall surrounding her $5 million property on stolen land. Look at this giant gate and security system. He knocks on the door, hits the button. He's like, Billy, there's no illegal people on our stolen land. We want in. And he just wanted to do an interview. Meanwhile, there's another guy, and I believe he's Australian too, is doing a GoFundMe to raise money to come to the United States and camp out on her front yard until the police come and escort him off the property.
Well, you might at least say once you get silly answers, don't you?
Yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And there's at least 2 law firms out there offering to take up a pro bono case for the Tongva tribe because she has admitted that she purchased stolen property, which by law is to be returned to the rightful owner. It's like, you came out and admitted it. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
with a furnished property.
And here's the thing is, this tribe would do better to just charge her a tax to live on on their property and have her make like a formal apology and explain the situation, yada yada yada, and she'd be allowed to live there. But turns out she's got like 4 houses. Turns out she's got like 4 houses, and she bought her childhood home in the area too.
Put a casino in the backyard for him.
That's what I thought. I was like, dude, yeah, get all this land, build a casino, make money. Fuck the federal government.
Oh my!
Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Mohegan Sun? What was
No.
that? Was that in Connecticut? Yeah. I was right near me. I think I went there once. I wasn't super impressed. It was a cheap casino, but it was, I don't know, it's still fun. So I guess Schumer's got some spending bill. To try to end this shutdown.
Oh, the shutdown ended.
Oh, so okay. That's
ICE is the only
Yeah.
department that hasn't been funded. Department of Homeland, all the other branches of the government are now funded for the rest of the year.
See, this bothers me because why is the party leadership pushing so hard against ICE and immigration enforcement, et cetera, et cetera?
They're losing their voters.
They really are. This isn't even 80-20 issue. It turns out it's like a 93-7 issue. Somewhere way down here, it brings up Nicki Minaj talking about this, and CNN went and did a poll, and they found out that like even 79% of Democrats. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, that was about voter ID. My mistake. But we don't see the violence that we see in Minnesota anywhere else because they're not actively encouraging their citizens to go out there and get fucking killed to be a martyr for the cause.
Yep.
But you tell me they're not picking up illegals in Texas, Southern California.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, too, you got to look at it. These people aren't from Minnesota. All these people, they've got protesters being shipped in.
Why is it always in Minnesota then?
Oh, I don't know. It might be because the fraud that they're hiding.
Not just that, the Derek Chauvin, not Michael Brown, that was the other guy. George Floyd was Minnesota too. It's always Minnesota that starts shit. And it's usually something stupid. Because anyone who's not a fucking moron would say Chauvin was trained to do this by the police department. At this point, it's not his fault. It's the system's fault. And you need to address this to the system that the government is using and not the people that are a product of the system.
Yeah.
I mean,
and when they do autopsy on him, they come to the fentanyl in his system.
Oh, yeah, enough fentanyl to kill a rhinoceros.
Yeah. It would have been hard to be on that jury.
Well, the judge even brought up this. It was brought by the defense, and the judge agreed that there was no way for this person to get a fair trial anywhere in this country because of the news coverage. And I was like, then legally speaking, in this country, you're supposed to throw the case out that you cannot have a fair trial.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
That may sound terrible, but if you cannot get a fair trial, you're entitled to a fair trial. So if you can't give me one, you can't try me.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter, though.
And it was national news, too. It was international news. So there's nowhere in the world he could have went and had a fair trial.
Maybe. He might have been able to go to Iran because they have no internet now, but...
Yeah, Skylink would have been there somewhere.
Yeah.
Starlink.
Didn't Elon try to turn on Starlink? And
for Iran, I doubt it. Some Florida congresswoman is just pled not guilty 3 months after an indictment for stealing like millions in COVID funding we've been hearing more and more about this coming out. Why did it
But
take so long for this to come to the surface?
because Biden was all about the COVID funding.
Yeah, but there was no oversight. You just gave away everyone's money, then their
That's
children's money
correct.
and their children's money.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I hope everyone
Yep.
understands that's why we're seeing so much inflation right now, was because we just took the entire freaking currency stack of the United States and lit it on fire during COVID.
Yep. And now you're
Uh,
financial strain. That's now.
And it's only going to get worse for decades. How many people did we fund to just not go to work for years? And then all the fraud that was seen on top of that.
Yep.
Meanwhile, at the same time, they were telling us if you didn't wear a mask, you couldn't even go buy groceries. And now they're losing their fucking mind about people wearing masks.
Yep.
Guys, you can't tell me that masks are okay. Not just that, but necessary. Oh. They required me to wear a mask to go into a bank to do a transaction during COVID.
Yeah, so you could rob the place.
That is a felony offense.
Yep.
Like 15 years in prison for walking into a bank with a mask on. And like, yeah, who cares? We'll just ignore that law. I'm like, well, if that's how we do shit, what's the point of having laws?
Yep.
And that's the problem we have with the Democrats. They pass a law in a hurry because they hate the Republican Party. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, it comes back to fucking bite them in the balls. And they say, that's stupid. Who came up with that stupid idea? Just like what's happening with Don Lemon right now. That was their fucking law. They made a big deal. And then the journalists at J6 that went into the Capitol following the scene, covering the news, went to jail.
Yep.
But Don Lemon's different. And you bring this shit up to people, and it's the best thing is they'll quote the actual original decision, not even realizing they're doing it. Like, well, these guys aren't journalists, they're YouTubers. I'm like, Don Lemon only has a YouTube channel.
Right. He's not a journalist. He was never a journalist. He was a prompt reader.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%, mate.
An activist.
And a lot of people don't realise too. They reckon it was a judge that wouldn't sign the charges, and that it was actually a magistrate, a low-level magistrate.
Yeah, they had to go around the judge and get an actual grand jury indictment.
Yeah.
Actual people to vote on instead of one person.
And this was a grand jury in Minnesota. I don't even know where we're at right now on this document. But
Michigan.
Oh, the Michigan family is freaking out because their home was seized over a $1,600 in tax lien. I don't think that this should be a thing.
If they owe $1,600 that they didn't even know they owed.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
There had to be a better way to handle that.
Yep.
This is gonna. I don't know Michigan law, but what the guy owed like $35, something like that to start, and then they just kept accruing interest, and he never got a notification until they seized his house. We've actually talked about this on this show before, not necessarily Michigan, but this same thing happening and just taking houses from people.
Right.
Like at any point did someone knock on his door and hand like legal summons type of thing, saying you owe us this money?
Probably not.
Because I tell you what, if you tell me you owe me $6,500, I'm going to tell you to fuck yourself. And then you say, no, actually, you need to pay this. I'm gonna be like, well, it's going to take me. I'm gonna have to figure out how to find $6,500 cash. You know,
this was $1,600.
$1,600. Okay,
yeah.
Give me a week, and I'll come up with $1,600. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna take my house if I don't pay it? I'll sell my nice stereo system if I need to. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying they didn't even owe this tax bill.
It was like initially like a $35.
There was a tax exemption that they believe
That's
they
right.
had, and somebody disputed it. So
That's right. There's a tax break for this group, and then it was
Yeah.
like taken away or something. LAPD arrests violent agitators after protests erupt outside federal agent detention in Los Angeles. Oh, yeah. So I was like, normally I'd know the article right away just by a bit of the headline.
Uh-huh.
How much have we heard about California having issues with ICE? Honestly, a couple times maybe
Yeah.
versus Minnesota. Even California is complying. And check this out. New Orleans just had one of their recruit police officers arrested because by ICE because he's here illegally. And I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago, didn't we see a police officer in one of the communities involved where there's an ICE sting being done get arrested too?
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh. This is hilarious. Mamdani, in an effort to pay for all the shit that he promised, and I hope we follow this closely. We might have to make this an actual like weekly segment and try to follow New York finance. Because I mean, they're already basically bankrupt
Yeah.
at this
I
point. He's been
mean,
in
he was
office for like
trying
2
to
weeks.
he was trying to say there's going to be free bus rides and free this for the homeless, free this for everybody,
Free healthcare for illegal immigrants.
and he was going to open up local grocery stores that were government run. He sold them the world.
Yeah, and they got a bag of garbage. Now he's
They already
claiming
raised
something.
fares on the subway and the bus system.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Eric Adams brought this up before Hochul took office. That there's a freaking like $19 billion deficit. And he was called terrible names by Mamdani for saying this. And Hochul won't even go near this shit. She's like, that's fucking ridiculous. But she did endorse him for office, didn't she?
Of course, she did.
But yeah, now he's targeting delivery companies to make up this deficit. So like even if you get like Uber Eats,
Well, they're trying to do that in Northern Virginia too.
there's an
They
extra
want to
tax.
they want to put extra tax on all deliveries for Amazon, Uber Eats, DoorDash, all
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. So now your delivery has a tax on it, which as much as Democrats keep talking about, well, look at who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay the tax put on the delivery? Obviously, it's not the company delivering it because technically they're not allowed to, right? It must get passed on to you getting the shit delivered to your house. And I don't know about you guys, but we get a lot of shit delivered out here because we live in the middle of nowhere. And I can't always make a 3-hour drive out to a shop to get an item, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, freaking they already have apps so you could like pay over 2 months for a fucking Taco Bell order. I don't know if you've seen this shit.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can't pay for this now. How about a 4 easy payment plan over 2 months? It's like, what the fuck? It's $9, you know?
Right.
If you can't afford to pay for your Taco Bell order
Don't
now,
get
you
it.
need to make payments. How
Don't get it.
are you going to pay the delivery tax on top of that?
Exactly.
Criminy. This is ridiculous, dude. And yeah, everything's going to cost less. I'm running on affordability. Let's increase the tax on
That was
everything
what
that
the
poor
governor
person pays.
of Virginia was running on.
Same thing. And then she raised the tax on everything, right? And banned everything.
Except for weed. We're bringing recreational weed to the state.
That was on its way anyway, and you know it. Even without a Democrat in office, it probably was going to happen this term anyway, no matter who was in office as governor of Virginia, and you know it. There's no way you allow people to grow pot in their backyard and not get arrested for having pot, and then not eventually let them just go buy pot and get a cut of the tax on it, you know? There's no way. Which is I thought was nuts when most of these states do the same thing. Oh, medical marijuana, we won't charge tax on it because it's medicinal. Okay. Yeah,
They
my
do in
glaucoma is
Virginia.
so bad. Huh?
They charge tax in Virginia for
I'm
medical
sure they do,
marijuana.
but not all of them do. Like I said, when I was working at the dispensary in Mass as security, they were charging a 17% tax on cannabis products.
Not that high in Michigan, but it's pretty substantial.
Uh, you also got your Michigan weed's fucking garbage and you know it.
Well, I've got you the cheap shit, so
I know. And well, I read the numbers though. Those numbers looked good. It's just a tough smoke, you know?
yeah.
I'm still
There,
smoking it. I'm almost through
there's better weed in Michigan, trust
yeah, I'm
me.
almost through the first ounce. Oh, and what I told you I'm not sure about my plants. Looks like one is flowering, just
Nice.
is progressing, but very slowly. The other one is covered in some kind of mold or something on the leaves. I'm just gonna throw the whole thing away.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, it's not worth that kind of
Because
getting
it could
sick
spread
thing.
to the other plant.
Yeah, or smoke it and get real sick, right?
Yep.
Uh, anyway, remember Deborah Messing?
Name sounds familiar.
She was the redhead from Will and Grace.
Never watched the show.
I'm not surprised. Um, anyway, actress, New York actress, very liberal. She's all angry at Mom Donnie that like the streets actually haven't really been plowed. Like they made narrow little one-way passageways. There's
Can't
no way to
afford
get
it.
through. Yeah, and it's like, lady, you voted for free everything. That means you get a little bit of everything or none,
Right.
you know?
You're getting the
Yeah. Oh no, the middle of the road's cleared out, but an ambulance has to wait to get around you when there's no one else on the road issue, you know?
yeah.
Like you would see in some of the back roads in Boston that have been there since, 1750, where, two horse carriages could pass each other, but you're not getting an ambulance around a freaking pickup truck, you know?
Right.
I'm not sure what you Aussies got for pickup trucks, but I'm certain most of the world realizes the United States has some big, big vehicles.
Yeah, we got some good smoke.
Yeah.
My
Shit, you
heart.
you live out in the middle of nowhere. You probably got yourself a big giant American pickup truck to deal with the terrain sometimes, huh?
No, Toyotas, mate.
A what?
Toyota,
Japanese.
mate. Well, tell you what, Toyota's got a great motor.
It does, but how much snow do you get?
Where I am, Sweet FA, down in
Huh?
Tasmania, I get none here.
No.
We've
Oh, okay.
got a
I mean
region
where
like
you are.
probably about an hour and a half. There's a certain region we get on top of that a bit of snow. But down south, Tasmania, it snows in summer. Down the southern highlands, we get snow. We've actually got Australian Alps. You might not realise it. We've got Alps and what Switzerland's got.
Well, it's funny you say that because the Appalachian mountain range that eastern border of the United States is kind of famous for is the same mountain range that goes through Scotland.
Mm.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a mountain range that goes from the top of Australia down the bottom of Australia. It's called the Great Dividing Range.
Oh yeah, Appalachian mountains go all the way up, all the way down south through the entire country, and so don't the Rockies. Uh, don't get me wrong, Australia is huge too. The United States is huge, and when you compare the size of both of these countries to like Europe, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Europe has like two, three major mountain ranges. So does it my country, you know?
But this one would probably go from the top of Michigan down to the bottom of Florida.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, the Rockies go through Mexico up through Canada, and you got the Appalachian Mountains that go from uh the Gulf of Mexico, basically, all the way up to Scotland. Yeah, it's crazy. Then yeah, you look at like the mountain ranges and all, Europe, and you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's it's a smaller land mass. And and like you said, it's the Alps all the way down there. The mountain ranges don't give a shit about the ocean. That's tectonic plates crushing against each other,
Push, yep, that's it. No.
But anyway, yeah. New, Messing's all pissed off about the way she voted, and I'm certain she's gonna find someone else to blame because she initially said, "Hey, Mom, Donnie, fix this,"
Right.
Well,
and I think she's gonna realize he can't, so she's gonna blame someone else. Like, why
he
didn't
stuffed
you
up,
give
mate.
me money?
He made all those misses. The minute Urkel heard about him, she put him flat in his track. She stopped. She said, "We're not going to start charging taxes in the state to fund New York."
Yeah, exactly. We're not gonna charge people in Albany to fix shit, fund free programs in New York City. It's like New York City brings in more money than like is probably one of top 5 net grossing cities on the planet.
Oh, 100%.
Like up there with like Dubai and Paris, Sydney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of money coming into these cities, and you still can't figure out how to pay for the shit you want to do.
Oh,
And that's the
people just
problem.
got
New York
sold
City is
really quick, you know?
one of the richest places on the planet. And like we want all this free shit for everyone.
Right.
You're the richest people on the planet, and you still can't afford the bus?
Oh,
Free is the way to go.
Hey, if you can figure it out free, that's awesome. But simply saying I don't want to pay for it anymore does not make it free.
Nope.
Like free healthcare, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? No one pays for it? It's free, like air? That means you have slaves. Like, who's doing the medical work? Who's doing the research? Who's making the medicine? Who's administering it? You know what I mean? These are all people that need to get paid. And maybe
he's
if we
making the
weren't
bed.
what's up?
He's making the medical beds, the hospital beds. He's cleaning the hospital sheets.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe if we weren't providing defense for what 85% of NATO,
Right.
maybe we could do some of this cool stuff that the rest of the world is doing. Well, I think what one was it France said they're willing to pay 2% GDP, which they agreed upon in the first place.
Well, we got a comment that says Venezuela has money growing right from the ground and communism does work.
Well, Venezuela, that's funny because they do have money coming right out of the ground, not just the oil. Do you
Does
realize
the Bitcoin?
you have a bunch of silver mines? Did you know that?
Oh, it doesn't work.
And we
That
get
doesn't
most of
work.
our silver. We buy a bunch of silver from Canada. Do you know Canada doesn't have a single silver mine?
Where do we get it from?
Canada buys it somewhere else. They refine it and then sell us the silver.
Uh,
Cut out the middleman.
that's what I was just going to say. Why don't we just find out where they're buying it from and buy it directly from? We can refine our own silver.
We can mine our own silver. There's a giant silver deposit in Arizona that would just don't dig the ground up. That's a terrible thing. Don't dig for oil, but it's okay to buy oil from someone else who dug it up. What the
Right.
fuck? You know? You hear about the Chinese guy dropping silver to short out silver? um,
We talked about this briefly at the beginning of the show. I thought you said where people were dumping silver.
I did mention that earlier. People are dumping silver because it's shot up so much that even the people uh that anyone who has silver at this point is concerned because this means something. Like something real. And like I said, I dumped mine at like $58 and invested it in physical material goods. And I got a feeling that's what a lot of people did.
I
Because
only got 1 ounce of silver, so
If it's only 1 ounce, dude, go dump it as soon as you can at a place that give you as much as possible. Make yourself $100. That's free. That's dinner for a couple nights at a decent restaurant, right?
Yeah.
By just yourself, at least, anyway.
Yeah. Well, and
Because your
by
wife's in
myself.
Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can go to the Green Turtle all week for dinner, dude, on 1 ounce of silver.
Yep.
Newsom's finally starting to realize that this wealth tax is fucking stupid.
Everybody's leaving.
That's exactly what it is. All the wealthy Guapo keeps fucking texting from the background. But yeah, the billionaires are leaving, and now there's no tax to no wealth to tax. Oh, he's stuffing his El Salvadorian face.
Yep.
Uh this is something that we specifically said was you go ahead and you tax the wealthy enough. They're gonna go somewhere else that won't tax them as much. Especially these tech companies. It's one thing if you work in like mining or lumber, you know,
Uh-huh.
you got to be where the resources are. These tech industries, I can do my computer shit from anywhere in this country.
Yep.
Why am I going to pay a 40% tax in California if I can pay a 3% tax in West Virginia?
Exactly.
And that's actually led to a lot of people trying to move these data centers into West Virginia. And I don't like it, but I get it. There is a lot of land out here.
I thought they were putting the data centers in space.
Not quite yet.
I think the moon be a good location for them.
Oh, this is the thing I mentioned earlier. This guy, let me look it up here. Oh, excuse me. Um, he's 54 years old now. He killed his 41-year-old mother, 41-year-old father, 13-year-old sister, and 11-year-old brother when he was 16 with a fucking axe. He was given 3 consecutive life sentences in 1989, and he's been paroled after just 36 years under Tim
Wow.
Walz's.
That's crazy.
And this is the whole compassionate release thing. Hasn't he served enough time? Well, why'd you give him 3? Well, why'd you give him 3 consecutive life sentences if you didn't want him to serve them, right?
Right.
All right. You guys pick up. I gotta go cough my ass off.
Well, Trump is ripping Representative Elon Omar over the Tim Walz Minnesota fraud scandal.
Mate, where do you think they are with that? Do you think they're actually just investigating, or do you think they're just discovering more and more all the time?
I think they're discovering more and more all the time. I think the surface has only been scratched.
Oh. And then they're talking about California is even bigger.
Railway that never got done.
Yeah, Trump
Well,
shut that project down.
Railway, isn't
Mm-hmm.
Trump
He's
shut
still
the project
speaking about
down.
the
It
railway,
was light rail to nowhere.
Yeah.
It was going from like
How can people not see that's a scam, dude? Like, it's just
they were
shocking.
working. They were talking about that light rail system when I was stationed in San Diego in 1992.
God damn.
And I said it was going to be a boondoggle then, and the light rail still goes nowhere 30 years later.
But what are they spending so far? Is it 19 billion? Or my figure's wrong?
Something like that. It was a ridiculous amount.
That's absolutely crazy.
And people are demanding ICE have body cams, but experts are going to say that may backfire because it'll show that the ICE agents are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and not like being overly.
Well, it's funny you bring this up because I recently saw a video and I wish I had saved where it was, but it was of this far left nut job arguing against body cams, and he actually brought up that when all the cops in so many areas, municipalities got body cams that the cops got their way because it makes these accusations look real, like because it shows you what actually fucking. Basically, what happened is this guy realized that they demanded body cams on these cops in black areas. And then they found out that the cops weren't actually just killing unarmed black men.
Right.
Like it just wasn't happening. And he's bringing up that if we go ahead and bring them to all these ICE agents, it'll just make it appear as though these people are just assholes attacking people and usually armed. And I got a feeling that this guy's right. And this is, and not in terms of who brought the argument up in the first place, but every video I've seen so far, I've been like, yeah, that's a little controversial on some of them, but not holy shit, that was wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Like Freddie and Good didn't have to die, but in that situation, it was not illegal for those things to occur that ended up costing them their lives.
Right.
That other people did. You know, and that doesn't make it a good thing. It makes it pretty good. Johnson. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Johnson in Chicago, the mayor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he signed an executive order about arresting ICE agents.
Right.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Is Chicago really gonna step up right after Minnesota just got kicked in the balls and do the same stupid shit?
Looks like it.
Well, Virginia's about. I've been seeing a lot of ICE agents in here, so I don't know. Probably Virginia want to take the cake now.
Yeah, as Guapo says that he makes sure to not just carry his driver's license, but also his passport with him at all times.
Yeah, that shit's fire. So if I get a free, if I get a free trip back to El Salvador, I'm okay with it.
You'd probably have to stay there for a while, huh?
No, just renew my passport. Go to the embassy.
Yeah, that takes months.
I'll be like, hey, look, I keep this on the down low. Let me be here for a month. 1 month.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out. Yeah, don't worry, I can wait 2 months. I'm gonna sit here and use this
volcano. When the spring start, March 21st, I'll be back March.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this volcano in the interim to mine Bitcoin, okay? Oh, he didn't. I thought he was gonna bite on that. Apparently, Guapo doesn't realize that Bitcoin is down to $79,000 a coin.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I know, but I was like, oh, I bet he's gonna talk a bunch of shit about Bitcoin.
yeah. It's just a fucking inflated. It's gonna pop. The balloon's gonna pop.
It did pop. It was over $100,000.
Goddamn,
like a couple months ago. Check this out. The liberals hate borders and identification so much that they've now set up checkpoints, i.e., borders in their own cities, areas in Minneapolis, and they check your papers to let you come in and out of the communities, like their neighborhoods.
They hate hypocrites, dude. All of them.
Yeah, and the best part is you bring up to folks like this, like, yeah, it's a good idea. It's like, yeah, but you said only Nazis and fascists would do that. I'm like, yeah. It's like, but you're doing it. Like, yeah. Doesn't that make you a Nazi and a fascist? But no, because it's like, see, you said only. That's the problem. And that is the problem, is these folks use words that they don't put thought into in advance.
No, they don't. If they did, they would be Republicans.
If they did, Elizabeth Warren wouldn't have claimed to have been Native American. And then when she got her paper that said 1/1064th, she wouldn't have shared it to prove she was.
Exactly.
For the love of God. Whew. Elizabeth Warren is more Neanderthal than Native American.
You miss her being your senator.
No, I don't. But honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Make no observations about that. She's not in.
Oh, she's a terrifying woman. She scares me as much as freaking Hillary Clinton, dude.
Did you see Scott Pence the other day?
No, I wish I would have. I heard. I saw a bit of it, but I didn't hear the entire thing.
It was the most classic comments I've ever heard. He's laughing at it and saying, even President Trump made a joke about you. Yes. He's sitting there, just make no reservations about it. He couldn't say nothing.
That's badass. That's badass.
Well, check this out. In response to what's going on, the federal government has decided to, quote, de-escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they made a big deal about this de-escalation in Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling out a bunch of ICE agents. They brought in Tom Homan. They took Kristi Noem out. I just like to point out that Tom Homan, the one everyone hates now, was the one who got a medal under Obama for doing the same job.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people forget about that. But here's the best part is before this initial surge happened, Trump said, just help us do our job. Don't get in the way. And, and enforce your local laws and everything will be okay. And they actively resisted. So Trump brought in tons of ICE. And it went from 80 ICE agents in the area, in the entire state. And now, after we're drawing back from this agreement, not only is law enforcement, from the 80 ICE agents, now there's 2,300. Okay, which they're okay with because it's drawing down from what it was a week ago. But the local law enforcement will also call ICE and tell them when they have anyone who's here illegal in custody, and not only, not just upon conviction, but after serving their their prison sentence. So it's like Trump got everything he wanted and more. And the Democrats are claiming win. So I'm saying let them believe this, and then right as midterms come up, bring up all of this freaking information. Like all you do is not start a fucking fight, and it would have been great,
Right.
You ended up giving us more than we asked for in the first place.
Do they even know the difference?
Well, that's the problem is most of these folks don't because they don't pay enough attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also in response to all this, Trump has now said, all right, we're backing off. We're backing off. All you states that have uprisings, riots, et cetera, we're not showing up to help you unless you explicitly ask us for help.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Maybe, but I like the idea of when a hurricane tears through rural North Carolina, the federal government be ready to help right away. And if we're not going to do that, I'm okay with that. Let the states handle it.
Yeah, let's give it some money to do it themselves.
Not even that. I'm okay with the state just not paying the taxes into the program federally and keeping it for their own program.
Yeah, like for a period of time, like, hey, I'll give you 2 years of free tax.
No, I'm saying obliterate FEMA altogether.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do. Is just send them money because they know how to do things better.
Yeah. But yeah, but you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, let the state handle their shit. They know better.
Yeah, better.
Why
than
send
we
more
do.
people over there when it's just gonna be in the way?
Yeah. So next time, Minnesota. Next time you guys have a fucking riot in your streets because a cop killed a black man, don't expect the federal government to show up in any way to help you.
Right.
They're not going to help you with riot control. They're not going to help you with any of this shit. They're not even going to send you money to help you unless you ask for it. Because you've made it clear you don't want their help.
Yeah.
Right.
So it looks like Trump's capitulating, but I think it's more of a calling their bluff. Well, these states depend on federal funding, and you know it.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, it's the richest states that take the most money. And you can say, no, it's these certain areas where the poor Republicans live. Yeah, you find middle of nowheresville. You're going to find some people that need help that probably vote Republican, yes. But they're not getting a freaking $50 billion tax write-off because they're taking astronauts from the fucking space station back to Earth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor going around that one of the astronauts was pregnant.
Be
How
back
long she
shortly,
been up
guys.
there?
Be back shortly, mate. I just got to head
All right,
out.
man. Might not be here when you come back, but definitely try.
Take care, guys. I'll chat to you later on.
All right, later.
All right,
man.
later.
You said something about a pregnant astronaut? Yeah.
Did gravity didn't take effect
Well, no. Did she get knocked up in
in
orbit?
space?
That's what the rumor is going around.
Oh, that's why she came down.
The whole crew came back.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, dude. Some
probably
space sex sounds zero G sex sounds amazing. Probably awkward though.
Yeah, because you have to pull the torch to you, make sure they don't get away from you. Because you're gonna
Yeah.
push, pull, push.
Make sure you have a good grip so you don't bend something
Oh,
sideways.
you have to be tethered to something so you don't fly away.
Bungee cords.
Mm-hmm.
What the bungee cords do
You
all
guys,
the work.
are you guys into what is it? What's the name of the people that like to get tied
Bondage?
down? Bondage. Like, no,
BDSM
this is just zero G force.
Yeah, that's the ultimate waterbed right there.
Space Force knows all about it.
So CNN's been forced to report that
Yeah.
83% of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj over voter IDs.
Yeah, we brought this up earlier.
All right.
Yeah, it was something like 79% of Democrats even agreed. It was crazy numbers. Harry Enton is fun on CNN.
And we talked about this too. Feds won't help
Yeah,
cities.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what gets me is Jeanine Pirro, which he's the AG of DC, is it?
I think so, yeah.
She's saying anyone who brings a gun in her district will go to jail.
Well, DC has the most anti-gun laws, so
Isn't DC federal territory?
Federal, yeah.
So shouldn't only federal laws apply?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think she has the authority to say you can't keep and bear arms. And I understand the argument for why you shouldn't have guns in DC.
Wasn't that
I
case
don't think
before the Supreme Court like a while ago about DC and the guns and stuff? I think it was.
You know, that's the thing is she said something about like you can actually, yeah. I'm sorry. What you were talking about, the Supreme Court brought up long guns.
No.
You could
Actually,
carry a
DC
shotgun or a rifle on your back, and it was okay. But Hero is saying if you get picked up for speeding and you reach over for your registration, the cop sees a gun and you know concealed carry, you're going to jail.
She says she announced a major change. This is ChatGPT. She announced a major change in how her office prosecutes certain firearm cases under DC strict firearm code. And rifles and shotguns, federal prosecutors will no longer bring felony charges against those people.
They got rifles and shotguns.
But her policy does not stop all gun prostitution. They're still going to do violent acts involving guns, cases where someone's already prohibited from having a firearm, and crimes involving illegal possession of firearms.
Oh, okay. Well, this sounds completely different from what this article told me. Because this article made it sound like you can't have a gun at all. What she's saying is if you do something illegal while having a gun on you, we're going to hit you the maximum possible penalty for it.
Right.
I can accept that. All the training I've had firearms, never start shit if you're armed. If there's a chance to walk away, always walk away if you're armed. Because if you shoot someone, you will be in front of a judge. You know?
Yep.
Even if you're completely within your rights, you will be in front of a judge, and it's just not worth all of it. Plus, someone might die. Anyway, we mentioned this earlier, but a drone quote aggressively approached a U.S. carrier,
aircraft carrier.
All right, and we shot it down.
Yep.
How do we know it was Iranian?
I guess I went to pick it up and see what's going on.
I guess that's always got me though. Like they'll look at the wreckage and they're like, oh, it's this, whatever. It's like, yes, everyone has different tech, but don't a lot of these nations share technology? Like, how many Russian weapons does Iran have? They couldn't have taken one apart to copy their technique
Yes,
or
they
learn
could.
something from it.
Well, Iran have been doing a lot of drones selling it to Russia to for the Ukraine war.
That sounds stupid to me.
Hmm?
You're just wasting your money.
Yeah.
And anyone on either side of that war is wasting their money. Ukraine's
Thankfully, NATO's buying the weapons for Ukraine now from the U.S.
Hey, at least we're not giving them away, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. That was something that came up with the whole what no one's paying all this money and we're paying for all of it. And then you tell
Yep.
us we have to do it, but 6 months ago you hated us for being the world police.
They hate it when it's inconvenient for them, but when they want it, we're all about it. So
Not just all about it, but you need to. This is your job. It's like, who the fuck are you?
yeah.
But
And
Iran also,
Iran is going to seize. They seize foreign oil tankers accused of fuel smuggling hours before there's talks with the U.S.
yeah. I couldn't find where these oil tankers were from, but I found it interesting that they're
They're
supposed to
probably
speak with the
shadow tankers.
maybe, but I thought the shadow tankers were theirs. But Iran, yeah, they're due up to speak to the United States. What I think today, tomorrow, yeah, it must have been today, right?
Yeah.
Um, about just in general what's going on. And we've been seizing tankers that have been on a list for what 10 years now.
Yeah.
And they go and pull this shit right before that. It sounds like it looks like they're posturing.
Of course they are.
At some point, at some point, they have to realize that talking trash ain't gonna fucking win them. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, then, you know what? Then maybe we do need to sink half their fucking fleet again. For real, what would Iran do? What would happen in Iran if the United States sank half their navy?
Proportionally, of course.
Proportionate response, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck with America's boats. But like, if we just wiped out the last freaking like 20 years of development they've done in their navy, are they still gonna talk shit like they're gonna end the United States?
Yeah, they will.
Or okay, does your average citizen say, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like they can come in and wipe you out at any point. They keep showing you this over and over again. Maybe that's why they shut it from the internet. Is not just so that we can't see what's happening there, but they can't realize what the fuck is happening in the real world.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, the START Treaty's dead.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. No, I don't. Oh, there's no restrictions on how many nuclear weapons the United States and Russia could have. We already have enough nuclear weapons to destroy the planet more times than matters in terms of life on the planet.
Mm.
I don't give a shit. Oh, they could build more nukes. Who cares? Like,
And
really?
Senator Dan Sullivan secured an Arctic defense deals amid Sino-Russia threats. That must be about Greenland.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it's funny because that was the first thing I thought too. I was like, oh, this is obviously why we've been talking about Greenland. The Chinese and the Russians have been running many, many operations right near Alaska.
Yeah.
Like just in the Arctic Circle in general.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we need a stronghold in the Arctic Circle. Besides Alaska, we need another, we got it. And it looks like, just like what happened with Minnesota, happened with Greenland, right? Ended up really getting what we wanted out of this. It was a place to freaking set up a military base and got mineral rights.
Nice.
So now we don't even have to pay for the fucking property, but we can pull
That's-
anything worth anything out of it.
I like it.
Yeah, we offered you a better deal. You know, you get to own the empty husk after we pull the corn out. You know,
Right.
Oh, like you own the cow, but I get to milk it whenever I want.
Exactly. Yeah, the cow is yours. You get to feed the cow and clean up after it, but I get all the milk. And Trump's talking about making a deal with Cuba.
Yeah, to provide support for him since Venezuela and Russia ain't providing him with support anymore.
Well, it's funny because Cuba was in there with Maduro when it happened.
Yep.
And this could turn things around in terms of our relationship with Cuba if they finally say fuck. Like maybe we should stop hating these guys, because I mean technically legally you can buy Cuban goods now, right?
Some things.
Right. Okay, some things. I know you can get Cuban cigars.
Why?
Used to be a big deal.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah, I
anymore.
know. Thank you. Exactly. Why? They weren't even that. Don't get me wrong. They were nice
They
cigars.
were back in the day, but
No, yeah, but
all the Cuban
there were better
growers,
cigars out there.
Yeah.
all the Cuban growers took the lead when Cuba became communist, when Castro took over, and fled to other parts in South America,
you can
and
get
Central
better Cuba from
America.
Nicaragua. I mean,
Yeah.
not Nicaragua, Costa Rica and Miami.
Yeah, you get some good stuff out of actually Florida, which I was surprised when I tried some of that. Because I saw you Florida. I was like, really? And it was decent,
Even
and
Connecticut got some.
yeah, it's a different kind of tobacco leaf. That's more of a cigarette tobacco. But I got some stuff out of Texas once. I can't. I wish I could remember the name of them. But I bought a 5-pack little box thing. Man, they were delicious, smooth smoke. It didn't, make me want to sneeze and cough. Just,
Yeah, you just hold in your mouth for release.
yeah, and it didn't. Yeah, it was delicious, and it didn't burn. And it didn't burn for 3 hours like some of them darker ones. You know what I mean?
And everybody's
Yeah,
freaking out about the FBI's ballot seizure in Fulton County in Georgia.
yeah. This pisses me off. No, they made a big fucking deal about this. What was it, like a year ago when Christy Nome showed up the first time?
Right.
They go, why is she there? Well, we need Department of Homeland Security. Blah, 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 blah. And now they're following up seizing this shit. Maybe that's why Homeland Security was there. It's just connect the dots. Sorry, it just seems so obvious to me. That's why Christy Nome was there. If they're seizing these they're saying Venezuela was involved in swaying the election, I guess is the new claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm going to admit sounds an awful lot like Russia. But weren't these machines made in Venezuela?
Yeah,
Yep.
usually they
Yeah.
project some, the Democrats. Whatever they're telling you, whatever they're accusing you, that's what they're doing.
It's funny because you bring that up. I brought up Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals several times on the show. Hillary Clinton quoted him all the time on her campaign for president. All the time she was quoting Rules for Radicals. And it specifically says, if you're doing something dirty, accuse your opponent of doing it before you get caught. Because then everyone already suspects these guys, and then they bring forward evidence of you doing it. And it's like, oh, this is tainted. It's retaliatory. It's political attacks, Oh, no, I didn't realize. I didn't see what Guapo said. I'm here to listen. I just kept seeing this flashing fucking dot on my screen in the background. It's driving me nuts.
I know. I had to get rid of it too. He got done
guess it
eating.
works.
He got done eating, so now he couldn't resist to join in. And do you see where this guy that Jill Biden's ex-husband was charged for murder with his current wife?
The Jill ex-husband.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. And yes, this is a big deal. Murder is always a big deal, but why did this make national news?
Because of
he
their
was
relationship.
Joe Biden's ex-husband.
So
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah, that's all. Nobody cares. Nobody. I think you only make like 5 seconds news. They're like, okay, whatever.
Actually, I think the biggest thing to bring out of that entire story is that she was married to this man, met Joe Biden, and left her husband for Joe. That's not a part of the story that everyone knows, but it is true. You can look this up. She left this man to marry Joe Biden.
Mother woman. What can I say?
Joe's a homewrecker.
Yep.
No.
I don't appreciate homewreckers, dude.
No. The wife died that car accident. Remember the kids?
No, that was his wife.
That was Joe's wife. But
Yeah.
Jill, that he's married to now, left the man she was married to.
Oh, you're talking about
Joe.
Joe Biden's a home wrecker. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's a homewrecker.
Yeah.
And maybe we should stop using AI to create images for cover photos of magazines. This is a no problem
they don't
with
do
AI.
that stuff. That's
This
made
is
up.
no
You're already a
problem
mind.
for AI. You will never get actual 5 fingers on a photo if you ask for it in AI right now. They cannot do it.
They'll get better. There is better tech out there, but Vogue is using bad tech apparently. But
or how about just have an artist do it yourself, and stop using AI. Go the cheap route.
How about use the fucking photograph you took instead of photoshopping it and then telling us you didn't Photoshop it? You just use AI to fix this shit to make it look like the way you wanted it. And Ariana Grande's got an extra finger on the cover of Vogue magazine for a couple hundred issues. What is that thing gonna be worth in 5 years? Only less than a couple hundred issues that were sent out.
A lot of money.
I say that, but who actually gets a physical copy of Vogue these days? Do you know anyone who gets a regular? I say it regular. I was about to say regular and periodical in the same sentence.
Newspapers and magazine. Nobody cares anymore.
Who gets a periodical delivery?
Daily.
You actually get like a newspaper delivered to your home?
No, I get a magazine delivered.
Amazon. Everybody get Amazon nowadays.
Okay, I was gonna say I get a gun mag every month, but that's because I'm a lifetime, or the wife said a lifetime NRA member. But that's the only publication we get in written form.
I get a BMW magazine. I get a Cruising World magazine.
See, that just seems like a waste of money to print it, dude.
I prefer printed stuff. I don't like reading books on Kindle. I want to get a physical book and read it.
That's because you're 1,000, and I get it. I like physical copies too, because when shit hits the fan, you're not gonna be able to check your phone for that survival guide that you downloaded. You know what I mean? And not even hits the fan. You're out in the woods, no signal. I can't get to my survival guide. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you want to take a shit? You can read a magazine.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna take a dump in the middle of the woods. What leaf here is safe to wipe my ass with? Trust me, you don't want poison sumac on your anus.
Ray shared this article. Woman kills husband, cuts off his genitals, and then goes shopping. Did she go shopping with his genitals?
No, I think she did. I don't know, but it was just funny. Like, I think she's Hispanic too. Like, man, you cannot date those crazy chicks.
Yeah, you say that, man, but
some people
gotta love them big booty Latinas.
Yeah, oh yeah, we already used that show title. Can't use it again.
I know, but
that actually got us a lot of listens last month.
Oh, you could put an Ice Me Harder.
I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of gorgeous women coming out of Latin America.
Yes, all the mixture, dude. All the mixture.
There's some serious hobgoblins too.
And Melania Trump's documentary, it's actually made $7 million in the box office.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I didn't know this was happening. I didn't
Apparently,
know
it's only like 45 minutes long, and the critics all panned it and hated it. But
Of course, they're
Trump's
gonna
got
hate.
supporters that will pay money to go to the movie theater and see shit like this. So
Oh, what's the documentary about if it's only 45 minutes? Her as the
About her.
first
a
That's
lady
all.
or her
couple of
life?
days in her life.
Oh, okay. So modern day, not her entire life as a migrant supermodel that
No,
married
no,
one of the
no.
top 100 richest men on the
It's
planet.
since I think it's since he got reelected as president type deal.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't give a fuck what a day in the life of the first lady is. Like, I don't know. I guess if it's 45 minutes, I might watch it if it was like free streaming. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. It's
But
coming.
I wouldn't pay to watch that. You know what I mean? Would you?
You paid to watch I Got Big Balls.
I
Hey
got
guys, I
big
gotta go. I gotta go.
balls.
Later.
What do you?
Right.
All right. What do you mean? I got big balls.
Wasn't that like a who did that movie? It was the streamer that did it. Tim, not Tim Walls. Um, one of the YouTubers you watch.
Oh, the Daily Wire thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, big balls. The men that joined the women's basketball league.
yeah,
I
uh-huh.
didn't do it just for that. There was actually a bunch of stuff I wanted to watch, so I subscribed for 1 month, and then canceled. Which I'm thinking about doing again because they just released their new Prime Merlin series, The Rise of Merlin or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm curious about that one. It's got Brett Cooper in it, and she left Daily Wire like a year ago.
Well,
We
I
have no
think that's
idea.
our shit.
I think it is, and actually, I was getting ready to do that, but I got distracted by Guapo rolling out on us. But yeah, I think that's our shit, Brian. Maybe you should pinch his turd off.
Will do.